This tutorial is going to help with the Edulastic website. So I'm on a Google Classroom and I see that one of my assignments is to work on Edulastic. So I can click on the link and it's going to take me into the website. And depending on the last time you signed into Edulastic, two things might happen. It might take you right into the assignment if you're already logged in. But for the first time, you're going to get a screen like this asking you to log in. You already have an account because you're a student in your teacher's Google Classroom. So you're going to click on Sign In with Google and you're going to click on your student email account and it's going to take you right in. Then you'll have a list of assignments on your Edulastic homepage. As you can see, I have 3 assignments that I need to complete. 2 I already started. 1 I have not started yet. It also tells you the due date on the assignment at the day and time it's due. And it also tells you how many attempts you have. So for example, this first assignment right here, I already completed this assignment 2 times, but I have 3 times that I can take it. So I can retake it again to raise my score. And then on the bottom here, I haven't even actually started this assignment. So I'm going to click on Start Assignment. And then when I have an assignment, I have on the left, I have all the questions that I'll be completing for the assignment. This specific one only has 4 questions. And then the top has a list of tools that can help me complete the assignments. So for the first one, I can say, okay, this is a pretty difficult question. I'm not really sure how to use it. I'm not really sure how to answer it. So I can actually bookmark this question so I can remember to come back to it later. So let's say I tried to attempt this assignment and this question, and I think that the answer is 3. So I can click on 3 on my keyboard, and then depending on how complicated your answer is, you'll have all these options on how to input your answer. So if I thought that the answer was a square root of 3, I can actually get the radical symbol and then put 3. So I'm going to stick to my answer, 3. I have a next tool, Check Your Answer. This will not be available all the time, especially if it's a test or something. But if this is a practice assignment, in order for you to practice the skills needed, I can check my answer and it's going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Here I'm incorrect because I did not even try to solve this, so I was incorrect. Another tool you will have is the calculator option. So for this specific assignment, I have a basic calculator because I really don't need anything else than just the basics. But if you were dealing with more complicated terms where you would need a scientific calculator, this calculator might actually have a lot more buttons, more similar to like a TI-84 that we would have used in class if we were in person. So I believe that the answer here is 2. So I'm going to check my answer again, and I'm incorrect, not 2. Another tool you have is a scratch pad option, which is basically like a digital notebook, and you can use it to write out your work. So 7 minus 5x, etc. But that actually might be a little time consuming if you don't have a mouse, if you're just using your trackpad. You can also click on various things to draw images or shapes. You can input to type. You can also use a math equation editor. If you wanted to insert math, you would just click on and you'll get basically a lot more ways to input math equations. You can also have access to a ruler or protractor, especially if you're in geometry. Protractor might be nice for angles, and a ruler might be helpful if you're trying to work out something with a graph and you might need a straight edge. In order to get rid of the protractor, you're just going to click on it again so it can disappear. And then you have tools like copying and pasting if you needed to. You do not need to use a scratch pad. Paper and pencil would work just fine unless your teacher actually requested you to use the scratch pad, because whatever you write here, it will appear to your teacher once you submit your work. So I'm going to get rid of scratch pad because I don't need it. My other tool is magnifying glass, which is basically something is too small, I'm going to get this little box, and if I hover over whatever I want to see, it's going to create a larger image for me to see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to click on next, even though it's wrong, and I get another question. So let's suppose I don't know the answer, I want to go to the next one. If I try to leave something blank, it's going to say, are you sure you want to leave it blank? So you get the option to skip, meaning like, yep, leave it blank, or close, like, no, let me actually put in an answer. So I'm going to go to number 3, skip. Okay, so here if I solve this equation, I get an answer of 3. Again, I'm going to check my answer to verify this is right or wrong, because my goal is to get the maximum number of points possible, especially if I have this check answer feature. So it's going to tell me correct, yes, you did it right, because I actually solved this one. So then I'm going to go to my next one. Notice that you could have more than one answer, more than one question, meaning that you need to put more than one answer. So you always want to scroll down, make sure how many questions you need to answer. So let's say that my answer was a fraction. I can put 3/4. Here I also have more buttons I could press by clicking on this little triangle. It takes me to more options, and let's suppose that my answer was something like an ordered pair. I can put in parentheses and then put my answer 3, 4, and then that's it. Let's suppose that my answer here was like something with an exponent, so I can put like x squared. I notice that there is nothing to indicate a exponent button. Click on the little triangle, and this little box is going to give me a exponent because I have x, and then that box says you can put anything for your exponent. So let's say x to the 4th. Okay, and then once you get to the very end of your assignment, you're going to get submit. So you'll only get the submit button once you're on the last question. So when I click on submit, you didn't actually submit yet. It just gives you a breakdown of everything of every question you completed. So the yellow or orange one means that, hey, you bookmarked this because you weren't sure you had the right answer. So you might want to go back. So you can click on the number 1 and it'll take you right back to question 1. Going back to that submit page, that gray one says that you did not put an answer. This answer is blank, so you might want to go back and put in an answer. Never leave a question blank if you have an idea of what it could possibly be. And then the blue means that you answered these questions. So I'm going to submit. Now, that second time you click submit is when your teacher actually gets your submission. And you'll get a breakdown of your test. If your teacher allows you, you'll get to see what questions you answered right or wrong. Here, question 1, I did not get it right because I got 0 out of 1 possible points. Also didn't get it right. Question 3, I did get correct because I got 1 out of 1 possible points. And it also tells you the breakdown of how long you spent on each question. So you can see your question. Exit. Once you exit, you'll get a list of all your assignments that you have completed and were graded. So here I have 4 assignments that I completed. 2 of them I was actually absent, so I get a 0 score. And then here I got a score of 7 on this one assignment and a score of 7 on the other one. And that's pretty much it on Edulastic. You can always go back to your list of assignments to see what you could take. On the assignment I just submitted, I actually have multiple chances to redo the assignment. So you'll be able to get a button that says retake on certain assignments, depending on what your teacher sets. So it's very important that you read the instructions when you are on the Google Classroom for the assignment, where your teacher will specify whether an assignment will have multiple chances or not. Any further questions, your teacher will be more than happy to help you.